A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and thank you very much indeed for joining me back here live on the stream. It has been a while. I've been moving house, things have been hectic, crazy with work, but we are now back in the sim, so thank you very much indeed for joining me. Tim's the Pilot, it's twitch.tv live from the UK, and of course, like you could forget, Jetstream TV UK on YouTube. Very special flight today. We're in a magnificent aircraft, the Pmdg 737-600. We are, sorry, I'm just adjusting the microphone here. We are in the Demonstrator, the Boeing Demonstrator livery, where all of the test flights are done with new Boeing aircraft have this livery basically. And we're on a flight today from Tessera in Venice. That's the airport name in Venice. And then we're flying over to Pleso, which is Zagreb, the capital city of Croatia. It is a nighttime flight. I'm actually going to roll back the clock an hour or so we can get a nice sunset just after departure. We should be landing in the dark in Zagreb. Real world weather, as you can see here. Flight conditions is live traffic and live real world weather. So yeah, as realistic as it can get. 4th of June 2026, and the local time is currently 19:01, so just after 7 PM local time on the ground in Venice. So without further ado, we're going to get down onto the tarmac. The FMC etc. needs programming. We've got the full flight plan here. I'll talk to you a bit more about that in detail when we add it into the FMC. Only a couple of minutes away from now, so without further ado, we'll hit the fly button and we'll get into it. It's been a while since I've had a stream, guys, bit rusty. Really looking forward to a good flight. It has been some time. Sick and tired of working, so it's time to chill, time to enjoy, time for some me time, and time for some sim time. Just having a little sip on a nice cold beer after a very, very long week at work. So cheers, guys. Thank you very much indeed for coming along on this ride. It's an airport I've never flown into, Zagreb in Croatia, so it's a first for me. Unfamiliar with the airfield. Does take a while to load this sim. I've had the Xbox crashing recently because it's been so humid and warm here in the UK. I've got fans blowing all over the back of the Xbox Series X. Hopefully it won't overheat and crash halfway through a flight like it did last week. It's taking its time to load, so let's hope it looks very delicious and the scenery is looking very, very nice indeed. It's going to be dark when we go into the sim. I'm just going to roll back the clock and we'll get probably around about 20 minutes before sunset, just before we depart, and that should give us some lovely lighting on the flight as it turns to dusk, and then the arrival into Zagreb just as it's gone dark should make for very, very nice visual viewing anyway. It's taking some time to load this. What's going on? I'm just going to have to sit here and waffle some more shite, aren't I? No, there we go. As you can see, nice and dark at Tessera, Lima, India, Papa Zulu on the ground at Venice. And there is the lovely red sky, the sunset, and the Boeing 737-600 in the Boeing Demonstrator livery on the ground on runway 22. Left, I think it is. Yeah, 22 left at Venice. Right, let's get into it, guys. A couple of things we need to do in the cockpit. We'll get the FMC programmed first of all, then we'll check all of our views, ensure that we're ready for departure. So, without further ado, let's get into first of all, we'll just do the things that we always do here. Flight director on. Speed up to 250 knots. Just over 267 is fine, that'll do us. There is our pilot's view. Looks like we've got aircraft on approach. Are we on the wrong runway? Never mind, it's just a sim. It's one of those things. So initially we'll go up to 12,000 feet. The cruise today is 40,000, so that should do us for our departure. We'll check all this against the FMC etc. in a minute. Let's just come backwards a little bit here, make sure we've got everything on that we need to have on. I'm quite sure it's that for the map view. Yes, it is. That'll do us. We'll just turn the brightness down as we're going to be flying at some point during the flight in the hours of darkness, so we'll just dim that down nicely so we can get some nice views here. Stick that back on. There is our view, guys. That's it. We'll just move that to there so we can move our view round. Excellent. Right, there we are on the ground at Venice, and Zagreb is over here somewhere, right over here. But not an issue. Right, so let's just get everything else configured here. They need to be on. I could do with a bit more light here, to be honest. No, yeah. Anything else that we need? Okay. VS speed to 50, so we'll take that up to 2,500 feet for our departure. Why is that not doing anything? There we go. 2,500 feet now. On the climb out, 12,000 feet. Heading is fine. Runway heading 267 on the knots is all good in the hood. We do have flaps 5 for our departure set. So let's get down into the FMC. There we go. Get this programmed. So in it we are looking at a cruise altitude of 40,000, so we'll do flight level 400. Stick that in there now. FL400. Cost index will be 15 today, so we'll get that in there as well. That's in there. Excellent stuff. Right, we need our departure and arrival airports. So departure is bear with me a minute, sorry guys. RTE. Right, origin airport is Lima India Papa Zulu. Lima India Papa Zulu. Get that in there. That's Venice. And then the arrival is Lima Delta Zulu Alpha. Lima Delta Zulu Alpha. And that goes in the destination airport, which of course is Zagreb in Croatia. So we are Tercera, Venice. If we go to the runway, it's 22 left here at Venice, so we'll just we'll get that in. That's fine. Awesome stuff. Departure and arrivals. Now we've got the airport selected, we can actually select our departures, and we're looking today at a Vic 6 Quebec off 22 left. So if we go to next page, looking for a Vic 6 Quebec, and there it is. We'll select that. That goes in. That's off 22 left. That's selected. Excellent stuff. Departures and arrivals again. We're looking for the arrival now, and into Zagreb we're looking for a Koto, which is a Kotor waypoint arrival, and it's a 2 X-ray. So Koto 2 X-ray, which is there. We are flying an RNAV 22 arrival. That is selected. There's no transition today. That's fine. We'll look at the legs, look for any flight discontinuities that we may have. So there actually isn't any waypoints between the departure and the arrival today, so we're literally looking at a Vic and a Vic. That'll be a Victor, I would imagine, and then a Kotor. So let's scroll down through the flight plan. Vic is 12,000 feet on reaching, so I guessed that completely, but that's great for our arrival on the end of the departure. 12,000 feet is seen. There is a discontinuity here, so what we're going to do is just select Kotor, which is the arrival, and we're going to overwrite that, and now you can see we have our dotted line for our route coming onto the PFD, sorry, primary flight display. We'll just flick through, and we've got another one there. So what we will do is we will select this, which is part of the arrival down into Zagreb, and we'll select that, and we'll overwrite that now, so there's no gaps again. So let's just check that. Exon, is there any more down to Zagreb? Exon, let's see. So flight, that's one. Page 2, Victor, that's our departure, the Vic 6 Quebec. then on to Kotor for the arrival of the Koto 2 X-ray, and then down to the runway at Zagreb. Runway 22, there we have it, excellent stuff. 3,500 feet we're looking at on the arrival. Just check our altitudes here, 4,000 feet before that. Definitely at flight level 400, as you can see here by Exxon. Sorry, bear with me guys, let's just flick back through. 4,000, 9,000, 12,000, Kotor. Yeah, so we're going up to flight level 400, and then we'll begin our descent. There's 162 nautical miles between Vic and Kotor, sorry, which is the departure and the arrival. So we'll get up to flight level 400, 40,000 feet for the cruise, and then we'll manage our descent down to Kotor, where we need to be on reaching at 11,000 feet. Okay, that's all good. So what we will do now here is we will hit activate. There, we'll execute. That is the flight plan in the box. If we look up at the PFD now, there is our closer view of the PFD. That's the FMC. There is our PFD. So we'll just mosey on over here. What we'll do is we'll zoom out on that. We just want to increase the range on there. That's 40 miles, that's absolutely perfect. Just get rid of that FMC test thing there. So there is our departure guys, we'll just zoom in on that. That is our departure, as you can see, out to Vic. 12,000 feet is set on the, what's it called, the PFD, and then the other one is the something or other, it'll come to me. Right, so we're ready for departure here now. We'll just have a quick check outside, and we need to change obviously the just go into back to the cockpit here guys. Okay, so there we are. We just come back here just a little bit. We could do with some more lights in here. I'm just trying to figure out how you actually get it on. Probably don't need it. Let's change the time before we depart. 13 minutes into the stream here now guys, and it is real world weather at the time we can play with. So currently 1911, so we'll bring that back to around about 6:30. So that means we'll be landing in Zagreb just after it's gone dark. Should be absolutely ideal. Wonderful views here. That's lighting up the cockpit nicely. Should we see what we can do about lighting the cockpit here? That's all good, that's all good, that's on, that's on, that's on. Excellent stuff. Right, we're ready for departure. Right, let's just a quick check on the views. Nose cam, pilot view, left wing engine, right wing engine. There's our flaps in on the wing view. Left wing gear, front, and pilot's view again. FMC PFD view. Excellent stuff, as you can see. Just 18:31, just after 6:30 here. Now on the ground in Venice. Will our track take? In fact, you can see Venice over to the left hand side, the main island of Venice. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for takeoff. So let's get on with it, shall we? 3, 2, 1 now, bringing up the power. And there's absolutely no response from the throttle quadrant. Why? 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 Again, now we have more problems with the aircraft. Let's just have a look here. There's the sun going down. There's our aircraft on the ground at Venice. Right, why have we got no throttle? Had this last time we did a flight. What's going on? Let's check the controls quickly. Control options. HOTUS 1 default. Let's click on that. Xbox One, don't need that. Otis 1 default again. Otis 1.4. Right, we'll go back to that. We will apply and save. Will that make any difference? I have no idea. We'll resume that. Absolutely nothing from the throttle quadrants. Nothing at all. Why? So sadly guys, what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to use the cheat to get into the air like that. We're going to have to raise the aircraft up as if we've took off. So sorry about this, it was the same on the last video. There's a serious issue and we're going to have a look at it. So now hopefully the engines will kick in once I press Y and we can go flying. Yeah, there we go.
Too low, terrain.
Yeah, we have thrust. Right, there we go. Awesome. Right, so we are actually flying. So we're departing from Venice now. Let's get that gear in. Venice off to our left hand side. Gear is up. Main island of Venice coming up on the left hand side now guys. Sorry the takeoff wasn't very authentic, but you know it is what it is. Flaps are coming in. As we have Venice off to our left hand side. There's the main island of Venice. The Grand Canal off the left wing. Back to the cockpit and we will get the autopilot in. So autopilot engaged. Command A selected. LNAV selected. We're straight on with our departure now. And N1 speed selected, 267 knots, flight director is selected. We'll just ensure that the VS is doing what it should be doing. No, it's not, so we will increase our VS to 2,500 feet per minute, climbing initially to 12,000 feet. Everything is good. We'll just head back to the wing view, and there is Venice. You can see the cruise ships down below us guys there, and the main train station and bridge from the mainland into Venice, and St Mark's Square just about visible down there on our departure. Okay, then flaps can come up now. Flight director is on, climbing nicely on our SID to Vic on the Victor 6 Quebec departure out of Venice today. Let's just make sure that the FMC is doing what it should be doing. Are we on our track? Yes we are, due to make a right turn very shortly at Papa Zulu 534 at 2.2 nautical miles away. We'll just increase our ND range there ever so slightly so we can see a more detailed view of the departure. There is our turn now, and we can zoom in on that on the PFD again, and there we have it with a right hand turn to Papa Zulu 612 and then making a left turn back to the west very shortly. We'll just go into the pilot view for now and enjoy the views as we climb out from Venice here, coming through the cloud. Wonderful stuff. Nice views of eastern Italy and the Adriatic coast off to the right hand side there now guys. And then a left turn once again, heading inbound now inland. So what we're doing is we're tracking out to the west of Venice, heading inland out towards Verona and toward Lake Garda, and our departure then brings us back out and heading out toward the east on our way to Zagreb. That's 12,000 feet captured now on the departure. We're going to go straight up to the cruise altitude today guys, because we don't have time to mess about. It's not a long enough flight. Cruise altitude selected, no restrictions here on altitude at the moment, so we're going to go straight up to 400, flight level 400. That is our cruise, and there it is, set and running. Flight level 400, at 2,800 feet per minute. We'll increase our speed now, we're above 10,000, and we'll go up to 310 knots. Back to the pilot view as we are now climbing through 12,000 feet with a number of turns on our departure. Wonderful colours in the sky. Still got the bank angle bug with the Pmdg 737-600. There is the wonderful sunset off in the west. And this is going to be a lovely flight over to Zagreb. There's Venice behind us as we track inland, heading west now. Further turns to the north. Screenshot that, because that's wonderful. Would be our screen grab for the YouTube guys. If you do notice a pause, it's because I've done a screenshot. What I should do is just take a screenshot from the footage captured from the game, to be honest with you. In fact, I think I'll do that in future, rather than keep pausing the game with screenshotting everything. $16,000 feet now for flight level 400, 40,000 our assigned cruise altitude. We have the autopilot set to command, LNAV selected, vertical speed selected, climbing at 2,800 feet per minute now. MCP and speed selected, 275 knots as we climb through 17,000 feet now. Heading direct Vic, which is our departure star. 8.1 nautical miles away, and we are at the end of our departure now, guys, out of Tercera, Venice, with a 40 knot wind coming from left to right now at 236, ground speed of 353 miles per hour, and a right turn imminent at Vic, which is then going to track us out to the east and back towards Zagreb, our next waypoint. If we just select the FMC here, after Vic is Kotor, as you can see, which is our arrival into Zagreb. There's our right turn at Vic, the end of our departure. Oh, there's an aircraft beneath us there, guys, did you see that? Sneaky, flying underneath us. Might just be able to catch him left hand side. There he is. There he is, guys. There he is. Didn't get any proximity warning, so it's not the end of the world. Really isn't the end of the world. There is our turn back to the east now. We have an aircraft above us, probably 12,000 feet above, just tracking off to our left hand side. Sunset off on the left hand side of us now as we track north. 24 minutes into the stream, guys. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here once again. You with Tim's Pilot live on twitch.tv here from the UK, and of course Jetstream TV UK on YouTube, which is where you can find all of our content for all of the various games that I play here on the channel. Leveling off now, settling in nicely to the heading up to the cruise, heading direct Kotor now, which is our arrival. The Kotor 2 X-ray. We're expecting an RNAV runway 22 arrival. We're just making our way up through the flight levels now to flight level 400. I'm really going to have to see why what this bug's all about, with the fact that you can't turn the throttles on when you're on the ground. As soon as you put it into I forget the name of it, the sway, is it? It's something or other mode where you can move the aircraft around yourself and reposition it, change the altitude, etc. I think it's slew mode. I've not used that word for a long time. Yeah, slew mode. You've got to put it into slew mode so it's actually off the ground for the engines to kick in. Luckily we didn't crash. It kind of looked like a departure as we were leaving the runway. It's a shame because the video should be as authentic and as realistic as possible, and sadly with things like this it just can't be. But hopefully the rest of the flight will be, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying the content and enjoying our flight today out of Venice in northeastern Italy over to Zagreb, the capital of Croatia. Just as the sun is setting off to the west now, climbing through the levels. We do have some hazy cloud here higher up in the levels and quite a lot of cloud down below, so we'll keep our eye on the weather as we head over towards Zagreb, make sure there's nothing that should be of any concern to us weather-wise. Sunset off to the left hand side now. You can see the sun just glistening on the top of the wing there. We'll get rid of our landing lights now, we don't need them anymore until our arrival, so we'll pop up here, switch them off, and we'll switch our taxi lights off as well. Not required just now. What we will do, we'll just check our other lights while we're here. Logo light is on, position light is on, anti-collision light is on. Sorry, is it on if it's down or off? Wheel well light is off. Sorry, bear with me guys. Anti-collision light's on, position light on, logo light on. Right, that's fine, all good. And we're in the haze here in the cruise now. Limited visibility. Flight level 310 for 4,000, flight level 400. We'll just decrease our rate of climb on that because we're struggling with speed, so we'll just bring that down to 1,500 feet, slightly lowering the nose of the aircraft. We will change that back from that to IAS rather than Mach, and we will increase our speed back to 310 miles per hour. For now we need to be in VS mode. Why won't it let us? Why is it doing that? Right, FMC, we'll get rid of that master warning, and we'll climb up at 1,000 feet per minute. That's fine. We just need to gain some airspeed, which we are doing. 1,000 feet, 40,000 selected, still climbing, coming through the levels very slowly, as we can see there. 31,900. The airspeed, as you can see over here on the left hand side, is 2,208 nautical miles and climbing slowly, 32,000 feet and climbing slowly, heading direct Kotor now, where we need to be at 11,000 feet on the arrival, so we'll keep our eye on that. 127 nautical miles away as we speak, as you can see here as well on the PFD, the primary flight display. That's all good. See what the nose cam's telling us. Not very much, quite hazy here in the mid 30,000 feet area, and this is real world weather now guys. Aircraft coming across from left to right, no issue, at 7 or 8 nautical miles away to the north. See what the sunset's doing. Can't even see the sunset guys, looks like the sun's gone down, we've missed it. And there's a lot of haze up here in the cruise at the minute, so well, we'll just keep our eye on that, that's fine. Other aircraft off our right hand side, a very long way away, no concern at all. And now we are tracking back out over the Adriatic Sea. Let's check our map for the first time on this flight today, give you some visual reference of where we are. So we took off from Venice. That was our departure. Now we're tracking virtually due east, right the way to Kotor. That is our arrival into Zagreb. So we're around about third of the way through the flight right now. Around about halfway, we'll well be in the cruise by then, and then we can begin looking at managing our descent at around about between Por and Bravo Romeo Zulu. This should all be ocean. I don't understand why it's green. There we go, it's finally kicked in, it's loaded. Yeah, it's coming back out over the Adriatic Sea. We are to the northeast of Venice now. All good. Departure going as planned. 35,000 feet for 40,000. 225 knots. That's all looking good. 105 nautical miles inbound Kotor for the Koto 2 X-ray arrival for Zagreb. The airport in Zagreb is actually known as Pleso, airport ID Lima Delta Zulu Alpha. Everything is A-OK here in the flight. In the cruise, we've got an aircraft off our nose now. We'll just keep an eye on them. Just have a little look round with the nose cam, and there they go beneath us. Just zoom in on that. There he goes, off to our right hand side. No issue, no issue at all. That's our view off the nose. That's my view in the captain's seat. And that's our view of the cockpit as the light fades and the day becomes night. Some wonderful colours in the sky now as that sun disappears off to our left hand side. There's the coastline down there beneath us, all just starting to light up as the light fades at dusk. All of the little sleepy towns and villages on that northern Adriatic coast beginning to turn on all of the lights, and they're just starting to twinkle in the distance, as you can see below us there. Hurtling towards Zagreb to the east. Sun has just set, giving us some magnificent colours here in the cruise as we approach 40,000 feet, flight level 400. In the Demonstrator livery of the Boeing 737-600. The lights of the northern Adriatic coast, Venice behind us, heading out to the east to the capital city of Croatia, Zagreb. Just chilling in the cockpit, guys. Coming up to our flight level. We're at 38,000 feet now for flight level 400. Just over 2,000 feet to go. Just under 2,000 feet to go. Currently at 310 knots. Well, we're not. That's set on the flight director. 212 knots because we're in the climb to the cruise, but we're going to have to start descending very soon anyway. We need to be at 11,000 feet by Kotor, which is our arrival into Zagreb, flying at a vertical speed of 1,000 feet per minute on the climb. Just about to reach our cruise altitude. We've got 1,000 to run, and approximately there's the audible tone to say that we've reached our cruising altitude of 40,000 feet, 77 nautical miles inbound Kotor. In the next 20 miles or so we'll begin our descent down to Kotor. We need to be at 11,000 on reaching. We'll leave it in the cruise for as long as we can. We'll let that speed build. At 40,000 feet we'll get some speed up for the descent, and that should bring us in nicely for our arrival at Zagreb. Oh, beautiful views down there, look at that. Isn't that nice, guys? Wonderful, that shot, isn't it? Could be our screenshot. We'll definitely have a screenshot of that, because that's just delicious. Oh, didn't mean to do that. That's the screenshot we needed. It's off the nose of the aircraft. Wonderful colours in the sky now as the sun has just set off on the on the left hand side of us in the west. Around about 70 nautical miles now inbound Kotor, which is our arrival SID into Zagreb. Only another couple of minutes or so. We're going to have to look at the FMC now and start bringing the aircraft down on the arrival, so we're going to begin our descent in the next couple of minutes. Just leave the aircraft now just to build up that speed in the cruise. Yeah, 40,000 feet now. Speed's picking up, 218 knots, 219 knots. We'll just let that speed build. Get rid of the FMC warning there. No issue with that. Everything is looking good here in the cruise, guys. As I say, apologies for being away from streaming, uploading videos to YouTube. I've had a chaotic couple of weeks of moving house. Just about got established and settled. And as soon as I've done that, we've got bugs with the sim and can't get the throttle working and all the rest of it. So, must apologise, not my fault. It's the sim fucking up once again. So hopefully you've enjoyed the rest of this flight, and you'll enjoy our descent down into Zagreb. It'll just about be full darkness as we arrive into Zagreb, which will be nice. It's a night landing. It's one I haven't done before, and it's an airport I've never flown into, so this should be an interesting challenge, especially as we'll be arriving during the hours of darkness. So yeah, it should all be good. We'll check the FMC in a minute, see what the mileage is down to Kotor, and then we'll begin our descent down to 11,000 feet. Going to have to do quite a steep descent as well, which will give us some speed, which should get us into Zagreb slightly ahead of schedule. .53 nautical miles inbound Kotor now. We've got a ground speed of 482 miles per hour. Fantastic tailwind at 48 knots, right on the tail at 270. That's wonderful. Speed picking up nicely. We'll begin our descent now, guys. We'll just get that programmed in, because we need to be at 11,000 in 50 nautical miles time. It's probably not going to happen. We're at 40,000 feet. The aircraft will bring that down to 11,000 as instructed by the FMC. There we go. It's 11,000 feet in the box. VS speed now. We're going to descend at, let's say, 3,500 feet per minute. In fact, we'll go with 4. That's more realistic, really. We'll bring our speed back now, as we're going to be descending anyway. We'll bring it down to 250 knots. You can see the throttle quadrant just coming back. 250 is set, because once we reach 11,000 feet there's going to be some rapid descending on the arrival of the Koto 2 X-ray down for the Arnav runway at 22 at Zagreb at Pleso. So yeah, all good. As you can see, we're flying down through the numbers here now on the arrival. 37,000 feet. That's really bringing the speed off. The knots are increasing rapidly. We're at 269 knots, 270 knots now. This is all good, perfect for the descent. 40 nautical miles at inbound Koto, as you can see on the FMC there. Fantastic stuff. Let's just turn some of this up here. We'll get these lights up just a little bit if we can, as we're going to be arriving in the hours of darkness. Panel brightness, we'll turn that up. That's just about enough. That's just about enough. As we go back to that view now, we can see we have some light in here. Fantastic. We'll just turn that down a little bit. Turn that down. Oh, hang on, no, it's too much. It's fine. Right, that's off, so we'll that's it. Just a little bit of brightness on there. Oh, that's all gone off. We don't want to do that, do we? Let's turn that back up. Excellent stuff. Make sure they're up. Nice and bright. Got an aircraft in front of us there, just make sure there's no issue. Wonderful reds in the sky now, couple of aircraft. One here and one to the left. Descending nicely for 34,000 feet now in the descent, 250 knots. 27 nautical miles inbound Kotor now. Make sure the FMC is doing what it should be doing. It's kicked VS mode out again, so we will click that and we will descend again a little bit steeper than we were. We'll go down to 3,500 feet per minute now. You'll see the nose of the aircraft just dropping. That aircraft directly ahead of us. There's another aircraft coming into play. There's one on the left hand side, so we're going to have to keep our eyes out for this traffic on the way into Zagreb now. 42 nautical miles into the stream. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here at Tim's a Pilot, live on twitch.tv out of the UK, and of course Jetstream TV UK on YouTube, where all of the content goes. Adriatic Sea there off to our right hand side as we cross the northern coast of Croatia now. Some of the little towns and villages just off the mainland below us. Nice and chilled, nice ASMR. I just love listening to that. The throttles are back, it's just the wind coming past the aircraft now with the engines at idle. So peaceful, really lovely. Coming down nicely now, 11,000 feet at Kotor. I don't know what the terrain is like around Zagreb, we'll check on that shortly. More aircraft above us. Nothing to worry about at all. Let's have a quick look at the arrival into Kotor. The Kotor arrival rather into Zagreb, I should say. So there is Kotor. That is the beginning of the SID for our arrival, where we'll make a left-hand turn, following the necessary paths, turning round, doing 180 degrees via Timbo and Didex, which will then bring us into Zagreb itself, Pleso. The runway is 350 feet above sea level. We did say that the arrival needed to be around about 2,500 feet. We'll check the FMC for that. We're going to be landing on runway 22, which is an asphalt runway, 10,648 feet in length, absolutely perfect for what we need. The ILS for 22 is 109100. Everything is good, guys. We are approximately 50 nautical miles, 60 nautical miles away from the airport now, so we really need to manage our descent. We'll just check the FMC quickly. And yeah, the Kotor, 1 nautical mile inbound. We are slightly higher the profile. We'll just continue to descend and slow the aircraft as and when required. And if we look at our arrival heights here into the airport, DIDX, we need to be at 3,500 feet. That's fine, and we'll hand fly the aircraft and we'll do a manual approach. We've just passed Kotor now, so we're actually officially on the arrival of the Kotor 2 X-ray. We'll keep our eye on this, make sure the aircraft is doing what it should be doing. VS mode, we'll just bring that down even more now at 4,000 feet per minute, and we'll bring the aircraft down to 3,500 feet, and that should have us perfect for the arrival into Zagreb. 3,500 scene selected, 4,000 feet. We'll just check the main FM, not the FMC, the PFD, the primary flight display. There's our right turn to Zulu Alpha 704. Forget the bank angle, that's just the bug with the aircraft. 5 nautical miles inbound, 26 knot tailwind, current ground speed 479 miles an hour. There is the overspeed. We'll get some speed brakes in now. Speed brakes in, help to slow the aircraft down. So runway off the left wing there. See that off in the distance. I don't think that's our airport, it might be. Don't think it is though, guys. So we've got some speed brakes in now to help slow down the aircraft. More turns here now on the arrival.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
17,000 feet now, descending to 3,500 feet. VS mode again. We need to select. We need to come down much more than this, guys. I'm going to come down 3,500 feet per minute because we really need to get rid of some of this altitude. We really aren't far away from runway at all. Slowing the aircraft down now to 180 knots. That should assist us with getting down in time for the arrival. 180 knots selected, speed mode selected, auto throttle is on, 3,500 feet selected, and coming down at 3,500 feet per minute. 15,000 now. We have the speed brakes in. Speed brakes are in, that's helping us slow down. Wonderful views here. And again, slow. That is our airport, guys, directly ahead, off the nose. What we'll do now is we will continue slowing the aircraft. I'm going to bring that down to 165 right now, and we'll get rid of them speed brakes, not required anymore. That's fine. We are at 13,000 feet. We need to get rid of 10,000 feet very quickly here, so we will continue the descent. 3,800 feet now, and you can see here now the arc coming on to the PFD, showing us exactly where we will reach our assigned altitude. So we're actually coming down a bit too fast for what we need, to be honest with you. So what we'll do is we'll just bring that back ever so slightly. 3,000 feet per minute should be fine. That green arc will move up now We'll just increase the view on the EFIS range. There is our track now. That's all good. 10,000 feet. Slowing to 165. And all good for the arrival here at Zagreb. Right, we'll get our lights on and stuff for landing now. Yeah, they can go in. Landing lights are on. City of Zagreb beneath us. Not very much on the outskirts of Zagreb to the south. Landing lights are on, fully configured. Well, we will be shortly. We need to deal with the flaps and stuff. Fine. Aircraft looking good for arrival. That's off the nose of the aircraft. We will be making a left-hand turn very soon back for the airport. Then we'll be disengaging the autopilot. I'll be hand flying the aircraft for a manual landing down at runway 22 at Pleso, Zagreb. Okay, there's the airfield. That is our track, heading direct to Tinbo now. Heading direct to Tinbo, then making a turn north-westerly, and then a further turn to the southwest, which will be tracking 220 for runway 22. For the arrival at Pleso, Zagreb. So really not far away at all, guys. Just after we've made this turn, we're going to be bringing the flaps in and getting the gear down and getting fully configured for the arrival, and then disconnecting the autopilot. I'll leave you with a view off the left hand side now, overlooking the city of Zagreb, until we make these various turns, and then we need to configure the aircraft for landing. That's my view from the captain's seat. Wonderful views of hues and oranges off to the left hand side. Literally thousands of stars in the sky there that you can see. Absolutely breathtaking, and we'll get the last bit of this sunset very shortly as we make our left hand turn at Tinbo on our Koto 2 X-ray arrival into Zagreb tonight. Oh, what's going on there? Don't understand what's going on with that. What has caused that? The autopilot should be dealing with that. Shouldn't be doing with that at all. That's ridiculous. The auto throttle is engaged. That's managed speed. 165 knots. We'll just increase that to 180. We'll manually deal with the throttle once the autopilot is disengaged. Just make sure them speed brakes aren't in. No, they're off. Well, not had a stall at this height before, guys. Bit of an issue with the FMC there. Not really sure what's caused that, but there you go. Let's see where we are now. We're making a left-hand turn very, very shortly. In fact, now. So let's see that take place from the captain's seat. The last of the sunset coming up now as we make a turn northwesterly. And then when we make our next left-hand turn in a southwesterly direction, the heading will come to 220, and then we will we'll bring the flaps in, we'll lower the gear, then we'll disengage the autopilot and manually hand fly the aircraft down to the runway. Cabin crew, positions for landing please. Positions for landing, thank you. There's the airport off on our right hand side of our screen now. Left hand turn in 3 nautical miles, that's at Röna. We'll have a little bit of a headwind on arrival. It's only 11 knots, nothing to worry about. Current ground speed 200 miles per hour. 181 on the knots, 7,000 feet. We're still a bit high. That needs to come down quickly. So we will hit VS mode now. We're going to bring that down significantly. We need to be, I'm going to even bring that down to 3,000 feet now, and we need to bring that down a lot faster than what we're doing now, guys. 3,500 feet per minute should do it nicely. There we go, there's our left turn. Start bringing them flaps in now. Them flaps are coming in. Gears coming down. Continue with the flaps. Flaps to full. The autopilot makes some minor adjustments down now to track 220 for the runway. Still descending. .60 knots now, that's fine. Dipping, that's okay. The autopilot's dealing with that. 5,000 feet. I think we're going to disconnect the autopilot, guys, and we're going to go with it and hand fly the aircraft now very shortly. Bear with me. Yeah, there's the airport. We'll let the aircraft do its thing down to 3,000 feet, and then we'll take it from there. Everything's okay at the moment. Cabin crew, seats for landing please, seats for landing, thank you. It's an hour into the stream, guys. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here at Jetstream TV on YouTube, and of course Tim's a pilot is at the controls, twitch.tv live from the UK. Currently on coming up to final approach for runway 22 here at Pleso, Zagreb, the capital of Croatia, after departing Venice to Sarah Airport around about an hour ago, just before sunset. It was absolutely idyllic. If you missed any of this flight, please go over to YouTube, Jetstream TV UK, and check out the full video. Would appreciate it. Give us a subscribe, thumbs up, and it's always wonderful to read your comments. Without further ado guys, autopilot and auto throttle coming out, I am about to hand fly the aircraft down for the landing into Zagreb. Okay, all good. We are very close indeed now to the airport guys. So without further ado, that is the cockpit view, that is the captain's view. Let's get ready for a landing. Make sure the autopilot comes out and does as it should do. Autopilot is coming out now. That's fine. Double hit that, get rid of any annoying noises. And the auto throttle is disengaged. I have control. Okay, I have the aircraft. Just some slight modifications here now. Make sure we know exactly what we're doing.
2500.
2500 checked. Just going to lower the throttle ever so slightly, just below mid-range. That's fine. There's a slight crosswind here now, just a few minor adjustments. Dipping the nose of the aircraft. Yeah, we do quite a strong crosswind coming from right to left right now, or it seems that way anyway. Okay, just let the aircraft just settle now. Keep the throttles at the centre point on the console. There's the ILS. Lots of adjustments, really steering off to the right, much more than you normally would do. There's definitely some weather here, some wind, but we're okay. We're just going to dip the nose of the aircraft now. We want to be looking at them PAPI lights to the left of the runway. We're looking for 2 white, 2 red. Don't want to be too high or too low on the profile. Make sure we're coming down on the right profile now. Good, slightly high I would say. Let's just dip the nose very slightly. And PAPI light should kick in now. 4 whites at the moment.
1000.
1000 feet checked. There's the PAPI lights, 3 whites, 1 red. Two red, 2 white, that's exactly where we need to be guys. Really struggling with this now. This side wind is it's a bit much, but just using a little bit of rudder. 500 feet checked. Decision is to land.
400.
Raising the nose slightly, 3 reds, back to 2 reds and 2 white. Off to the left slightly, just making some modifications as we fly over the motorway there. 300 feet, 2 red, 2 white. Continue. Decision is to land.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And on the ground at Zagreb guys, just a few corrections there to keep us level, and on the runway that's fine, all good. Aircraft slowing down nicely. Excellent stuff there, brilliant. Welcome to Zagreb ladies and gentlemen, the capital of Croatia. Current time 19:21, 20 minutes past 7 here, local time. Auto throttle, we'll get rid of that off the dashboard, we don't need that, so that's fine. And we will vacate to the left now. When able, we'll just get the brakes on there, that's fine. And vacate on this taxiway. Wonderful stuff, amazing flight besides the beginning and the bugs and the problems that we have with this aircraft. Well, I don't think you need to see us go to the terminal building here, guys. It's pitch black in Zagreb. We'll just follow these taxi lights now, and then we'll park up when able. Absolutely directly ahead on the apron here at Zagreb. We'll literally just pull up and stop, and that will be the end of this evening's flight. And there we are, guys. That should bring us in here now. Well, I don't know where that's taking us, to be honest with you, but we'll just park in front of this building here, and I would definitely say that we are good in the hood. Parking brakes set. There we are on the ground at Zagreb. Flaps coming in now. All good. Well, thank you very much indeed, guys. We're at the terminal building here in Zagreb, Croatia. So on that note, we will sign off at 66 minutes into the stream. Thanks so much indeed for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always. Tim's a Pilot here, twitch.tv live, and of course Jetstream TV UK. We will see you on the next one. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Take care.